Hi there, thank you for joining Yin Yoga. Today we will be working on the ankle, toes, calves, all the different quadrants of the legs, so side of the legs, inner legs, backs of the legs, hamstrings and front of the legs, quads, plus our hips and our back. So we're going to start by stretching out the back of the legs on our back with the legs in the air. So lying on our back, I find this is the safest way to stretch out the hamstrings because the floor is supporting our back. And if you've got a belt or a scarf that I'm using today, just to use as an extra support. So first of all, we're just lifting the legs up in the air, trying to push the heels away and toes towards the face. This Yin Yoga stretch is either called Reclining Caterpillar or Waterfall. So I'm going to take my scarf and take it round the soles of the feet. I'm just holding on lightly to the ends. I'm just going to notice here taking about a minute to notice where we feel the stretch. Could be at the top of the hamstrings, near the glutes, or more the hamstring part near the knee. And then releasing the belt, bringing the feet to the floor and stretching out both legs. Taking a deep breath in, stretch the arms above the head. And breathe out, bring the knees into the chest. So just hugging the knees into the chest. So today I thought we could do the various yin poses on our backs and then compare the difference seated. So the next yin pose is reclining butterfly. So here bring the feet to the floor and keep the soles of the feet together as you take your knees out to the side. In Yin Yoga, time is the magic ingredient as we marinate our muscles, our joints in the different stretches. We're encouraging circulation flow, energy flow, awareness of breath. An awareness of body, stretching out the legs, taking the arms above the head to breathe in deeply. Bring the arms down slowly as you breathe out. Bringing the knees into the chest again. The counter pose, taking the knees side to side. Coming into another hip stretch in the Reclining Swan, or the figure 4 stretch. Bring both feet to the floor, and take the left ankle over the right thigh. And that might be enough. Just making a triangle shape with the legs. Gently pushing the left knee away to open up the hip, create greater range of movement in our hip. If you want to go further, bring the right foot off the floor and thread the hands through the triangle to go either underneath your right knee or on top of your right knee. And if you have any knee issues, we can flex the toes to activate the muscles that surround the knee joint. Bring your right foot to the floor, left foot to the floor. And then the counter pose, we'll try windshield wipers, reclining windshield wipers. So feet apart and knees apart. And take the knees slowly to the right. And centre, knees to the left. And working at your own pace. Knees side to side. And move into our opposite side in the figure 4 or reclining swan. So bringing your right foot over the left thigh. Ease the knee away, ease the knee towards the left shoulder. It's a gentle mobilization for the right hip. lifting the left foot off the floor. You can thread the hands underneath the left knee or on top of the left knee. Try to keep your tailbone into the floor so we're not curling up the spine too much. Bring the left foot back down, right foot back down. Now stretching out both legs. Breathing in, stretch the arms above the head. Point the fingers, point the toes. Enjoy that deep stretch. And bring the arms back down. Draw the knees into the chest. And one more reclining stretch, which is easy cross-legged pose. So cross your right ankle over your left, bring the feet to the floor and take the knees out to the side. And here, see if you can walk the heels away from each other. You can have the palms facing up or hands just resting on your tummy. The hands are resting on the tummy. Follow the breath by following the movement of your tummy as it rises gently on your inhale and falls gently on your exhale. Slowly lift the knees back up, separate the feet. A couple of pelvic tilts, so tilting the pubic bone up towards the face, and then releasing. So we're getting a curve in the spine and then flattening the spine. Bring the knees back into the chest. So opposite side with the easy cross-legged. Left ankle over the right ankle. You can hug the knees in a little bit more. And then bring the feet down to the floor. Take the knees down to the floor. Again, walking the heels away from each other. You can flex the toes or point the toes. Feel the movement in the calf and the shin. And resting the hands again on the tummy, following the breath, noticing the fall and rise of the tummy with your breath. Lifting the knees slowly. Stretch out both legs. With the breath in, bring the arms above the head. Breath out, arms release. Bring the knees into the chest. And taking your knees side to side to gently massage the lower back. Lifting up slowly as we move into those same postures, seated. So starting with the caterpillar. So we want to try and notice the difference from lying on our backs to seated, where we compare the different stretches. So we're taking the belt or scarf around the sole of the feet. So starting with a flat spine if you can, a tall spine, and pushing heels away, toes towards the face. Breathe in, lift the chest forward, shoulders back, and then folding forward. So for me this is a deeper stretch for the back and the hamstrings. I'm hoping the intensity will reduce as I breathe deeply, following my breath. You can relax the toes out to the side and let the feet go floppy. See if that makes a difference in
allowing us to fold a little bit deeper. And how far we can fold forward or bend forward or flex our spine will depend on various factors. Might depend on the flexibility in our hamstrings or our hips. It could also depend on the size of our hip joints or the size of the femur joint, where the femur inserts into the hip, the size of the ball and socket. So each of us is unique. As long as we're feeling the target area, so the stretch might be for your lower back or your hamstrings or your hips. So lifting out slowly. So I'm not staying too long in that one. If you enjoy that one and feel kind of like you can relax and let go, stay in that one a bit longer in the caterpillar. We'll move into butterfly, which for me is a much more pleasurable stretch. So we can be young butterfly, where we're drawing our feet closer into the body and drawing our chest forward with a flat spine. We can be more relaxed butterfly, yin butterfly, long butterfly, taking the feet further apart, further away, and allowing the spine to round, bringing the crown of the head down towards the floor. Back up slowly, coming into the seated counterpose windshield wipers, feet apart and knees apart. Moving the block, if you sat on the block, knees to one side, knees to the opposite side. A little bit of internal and external rotation of our hips. So we might feel it on the outer hip. If we take the knees to the side, coming into the third seated stretch, which is the figure 4. So if this one doesn't feel good when you're seated, go back to the reclining version,
which is kind of with the ankle over the thigh and drawing the feet off the floor and threading the hands through. So the seated version is sitting. So the right foot could be stretched out with the right leg straight, or drawing the right foot closer towards the bottom with the right foot pressing into the floor. Again, here flex your left toe if you want to protect your knee joint, but also switches on our target area muscles that we're stretching here. The left glute, left piriformis, left hip flexor, hip abductors. So for more intensity, we draw the chest towards the left shin. Less intensity, walk away a bit, or walk the right foot away a bit. So where we place our hands and our feet will depend on how much intensity or deepness in our stretch we like. Stretching the right foot away and the left foot away, shaking out the legs and moving to our opposite side. So right ankle over the left thigh, and drawing the left foot in. The closer it comes in, the deeper the stretch. Remember, we can lie on our backs if it becomes too much or too intense. We only want the intensity to be about 60%. About 3 or 4 more breaths. Stretch away the left leg, and the right foot releases, shaking out the legs. And coming into the easy cross-legged. So I'm going to sit on my block or cushion to just help elevate the hips a little bit forward, and then cross the legs or cross the ankles and notice which ankle is in front. So my right ankle's in front. That's the natural way for me to do easy cross-legged. And then see if we can walk the heels away. And we can sit up tall first to create a longer spine, drawing our chest forward and our shoulders back. And then if it's accessible, we can walk the hands forward. Either resting the hands on a cushion or a block, maybe bringing the elbows down. Again, where we place the hands will increase or ease off on the intensity. So start easy, and maybe over time we can increase a little bit by maybe walking the hands away, flexing the spine a little bit more, bringing the head closer down towards the floor. And adding an option here to stretch out the side of the spine a little bit, taking the hands over to your right hand side, so you feel a stretch up the left hand side of the body. Hold for about 6 breaths. Walking the hands back to the centre. Walk your hands over to the left. Feel the stretch here up the outside of the right side of the body. Walking the hands back to the centre. Hold, maybe stretching the fingertips a little bit more forward. Hold for another 6 breaths. And walk the hands back in. And take the hands behind for the counter pose, puffing the chest up towards the ceiling, looking up towards the ceiling. And coming forward, stretching out both legs, have your legs bent for a while, shaking out the legs. And going the opposite way with the easy cross-legged. And remember which leg was in front. So now I'm bringing my left foot forward. And again, trying to walk the heels away. Sitting up tall, first of all. Release the shoulders up and back. And then walking the hands forward. Seeing if we can inch the fingers a little bit more forward. Maybe coming onto the elbows.
And allowing the spine to flex. And moving into the side stretch, so taking your elbows or your hands over to the left. Slowly back to the centre, walking the hands or the elbows over to your right. Feel the stretch up the outside, left hand side of the body. Walking the hands back to the centre, so if you can stretch the fingertips a little bit more forward. Last 6 breaths. Walking the hands back in and taking the hands behind, stretching out the legs one at a time, shaking out the legs, maybe puffing the chest up, looking up towards the ceiling. And now a stretch for our ankles, toes and thighs, so sitting on your heels with the knees together, or sitting on a couple of blocks between the feet. You might need 2 or 3 or 4 blocks, and placing the bottom on the block, resting your hands on your thighs or palms facing up, palms facing down. opening the eyes with the eyes closed, releasing the blocks, coming forward and stretching out the one ankle, so stretching out the heel, pushing the heel away for the opening in the back of the legs. And because we've done a lot of flexing of the spine in those seated postures, coming into Reclining Caterpillar, to open up the back of the legs and release the back. So stretching the heels up towards the ceiling, maybe interlock the fingers behind the legs, or you can use your belt or your scarf. So another 6 breaths. If you prefer, you can keep your knees in towards your chest. Finishing with a reclining twist. So bringing the feet to the floor with our knees together and our feet together. Arms are out like a T shape, palms up or palms down. And then slowly take the knees down to the right. You can experiment by bringing the knees up closer to the chest or taking the knees away. Notice where we feel any compression or tension. Looking over your left fingertips, 6 breaths. Bring the knees to the centre, adjust the spine, and take your knees down to the left, looking over the right fingers. The knees back to the centre, and finishing in constructive rest with the knees together and feet away, resting our hands on our tummy, working on that 3-part breath to help reduce the heart rate, work on increasing our lung capacity as well. So breathing into the tummy, tummy expands, side ribs expand, chest expand. And as you breathe out, release from the chest, side ribs, tummy. Feel the whole back as it sinks deeper into the mat on every exhale. Stretch out the legs. Breathe in, stretch the arms above the head. Point the fingers, point the toes, nice stretch. Exhaling, release the arms. And finally, bring the knees into the chest. Make a circle with the knees. One direction, opposite direction. And either take your knees down to the side and pause, or drawing the tummy into lift up to seated. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed, and see you soon. Bye for now.